Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a special series on the Quranology Institute's YouTube channel. The special series is called How to Read Quran, and as the title suggests, it will be a set of videos in which we will present tools on how we should read Quran. Now, for those of you who are new to Quran reading, you may ask the question, why do we need this series of videos? I mean, after all, anyone can just pick up a translation of Quran and actually arrive at the conclusion that this is divine inspiration and worth their time and effort. Indeed, people have actually converted to Islam simply by reading translations. And, I do not fault their experiences. If they feel that way, that's fine. But I myself don't believe in the idea of conversion. I believe anyone can just use whatever conceptual tools that Quran gives them and apply them in their lives as and when they choose. So, if I may be allowed to give you a metaphor to explain what I'm trying to do here. If you think about a particular destination, you're traveling to a particular destination, and you are taking a train. Now, if the train had no tracks, then the train can go every which way, right? But if you start building tracks, then the train will be taking the tracks towards that destination. And the more comprehensively you build the tracks, i.e. step by step towards the destination, then the more likely that the train will arrive there. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build you the tracks. And obviously, we are human beings. Our tracks may be fallible. And that is when you come in, where you come in, and you can tell us, oh, okay, this is not right, that's right, etc., etc. And together we can form the tracks towards the meaning as intended by the author of Quran, Allah. So, the history of my own personal history, and actually I shouldn't start with my own personal history. The idea that there is a methodology of understanding Quran is not new. Indeed, traditional Muslims, Sunnis and Shiites, they have a heritage of ideas with regards to methodology. Their own scholars call it ulumul Quran, or sciences of Quran, and they have various criteria or concepts in which they can arrive at the correct meaning. And the majority of this is using hadith or using asbabun nuzul, occasions of revelation, to understand particular verses. Now, this is a concept which I do not agree with, primarily because these are all based on conjectural information. Hence, they do not cohere with what I understand to be the correct methodology. Furthermore, they created a new philosophy of Islam, which I feel is not fully coherent with the philosophy of Quran itself. Well, that's my opinion anyway. So my own personal history about this idea of tafsirul Quran bil Quran, the interpretation of Quran with the Quran, which was devised by the traditionalists as well, was that back in 1999. I was quite fresh then. I'd just been a Quranist for about 2 years. And then one day I visited some friends, new friends, in London. And these guys, they've been studying Quran for, one of them 40 over years, the other one about 20 over years. And they introduced me to the idea that there are principles within Quran which help us study Quran. Now, this was something very new to me. I mean, I knew some of the verses they quoted, but I never saw these verses in that light before. And they showed me a small booklet, which was sadly written in Urdu, so I didn't understand it, that a group had written in Pakistan, which detailed the methodology. I never got to see the booklet, so I don't know if my ideas are the same as theirs. But apparently, according to one of those guys, that really helped him understand that actually Quran is a very active text. It interacts with the reader. So after a few years, I myself wrote an essay about this. And that essay sadly has been lost. It was published on the internet and I can't find it anymore. But I still remember some of the ideas I had. But back then I did not develop certain theories which I have now. And then in 2007, 10 years ago, I developed the theory of the author, i.e. there is an author of Quran and the author expresses his will through the text. And by recognizing the author, we may thereby get into the text. And this is a theory which has helped me so much in understanding Quran. A few years down the line, I think in about 2010, 2011, I developed the theory of the reader. So if there is an author, there are readers of Quran. And the readers of Quran experience certain things. So the text is aware of the author and also the reader, and they interact. And this is the basis of what I call the existential translation, which is the bulwark of the Quranology Institute. Then back in 2016, just last year, I developed the theory of the writer of Quran. So there is the author and there are readers, but in between there are writers. Who are these writers? So all these theories are what I perceive from the Quranic text, and they add to the depth of the Quranic experience. So basically the idea is for us to get the authentic philosophy of Quran. What is the author trying to tell us? And how can we get to this point? That is the entire purpose of this series. So I hope you can follow us every day as we publish videos. We hope to do 30 of them throughout Ramadan. And perhaps share your comments so that we may get a deeper understanding of Quran itself. Many thanks for viewing this video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.